Imagine a world where Rome, the mighty republic destined to dominate the Mediterranean, stood on the brink of annihilation. A single man, armed with sheer genius and an undying hatred, led an army across treacherous mountains, shattered legions, and sent shockwaves through the heart of Rome itself. That man was Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian general who waged one of the most brilliant military campaigns in history. This is the story of how he brought Rome to its knees, a tale of cunning strategy, devastating battles, and a relentless pursuit of victory against impossible odds. Hannibal Barca, the brilliant Carthaginian general, was a man whose very name struck fear into the heart of Rome. Born in 247 BCE, Hannibal inherited a deep-seated hatred for Rome from his father, Hannibal Barca, who had fought in the First Punic War. Sworn to destroy Rome from a young age, Hannibal became a tactical mastermind who orchestrated some of the most stunning military victories in history, bringing the mighty Roman Republic to the brink of destruction. His campaign during the Second Punic War remains one of the most audacious and strategically brilliant military endeavors ever undertaken. The conflict between Carthage and Rome was inevitable. After Carthage's defeat in the First Punic War, Rome sought to expand its influence, seizing Corsica and Sardinia, while Carthage turned its attention to Iberia. Hannibal, following in his father's footsteps, quickly rose through the ranks and consolidated Carthaginian control over Spain. When Rome allied with the city of Saguntum, which lay south of the Ebro River and was under Carthaginian influence, Hannibal saw this as a provocation. In 218 BCE, he laid siege to the city, triggering the Second Punic War. Rather than engaging Rome in a traditional naval war, Hannibal conceived a daring and unconventional strategy. He would strike at the very heart of Italy by crossing the Alps, an act considered impossible for a large army. With around 50,000 infantry, 9,000 cavalry, and a handful of war elephants, he embarked on one of the most grueling marches in history. Facing treacherous mountain terrain, freezing temperatures, and attacks from hostile tribes, he lost nearly half his force, but his strategic gamble paid off. When he emerged into Italy, Rome was utterly unprepared for the war that was about to unfold. Hannibal's first major encounter with the Romans was the Battle of the Trebia in 218 BCE. Using the frigid river and superior tactics, he lured the Roman forces under Sempronius Longus into a devastating trap, slaughtering thousands. Rome reeled from the defeat, but worse was to come. The following year, at the Battle of Lake Trasimene, Hannibal executed one of the greatest ambushes in military history. Concealing his army in the hills surrounding the narrow lake path, he struck at the unsuspecting Romans led by Gaius Flaminius, completely annihilating their force. The Roman army was shattered, and panic spread throughout the Republic. In response, Rome appointed Quintus Fabius Maximus as dictator. Fabius, unwilling to engage Hannibal directly, adopted a war of attrition, avoiding pitched battles and harassing Hannibal's supply lines. This earned him the nickname Cunctator, or the Delayer. However, the impatient Roman Senate grew frustrated with his cautious approach and sought a decisive victory. This led to the disastrous Battle of Cannae in 216 BCE, a battle that would forever cement Hannibal's name in the annals of military history. At Cannae, Hannibal faced a Roman force nearly twice the size of his own, numbering around 86,000 soldiers. Using his superior understanding of battlefield dynamics, he employed a double envelopment maneuver, allowing the Romans to press forward before surrounding them completely. In one of the most horrific slaughters in ancient warfare, Hannibal's forces massacred nearly 50,000 Romans in a single day, including some of Rome's most distinguished commanders. This defeat sent shockwaves through the Republic, prompting several of Rome's allies to defect to Carthage, and for a moment, Rome teetered on the edge of collapse. Despite his unmatched battlefield prowess, Hannibal faced a crucial problem. He lacked the reinforcements necessary to deliver the final blow to Rome. The Carthaginian Senate, hesitant and politically divided, refused to send him the support he needed to march on the city itself. Instead, Rome, though wounded, adapted. Under the leadership of figures like Scipio Africanus, they restructured their military and adopted Fabian tactics, avoiding direct engagement with Hannibal and focusing on cutting off his supplies. For over a decade, Hannibal remained in Italy, undefeated but unable to secure a decisive end to the war. Rome, meanwhile, shifted the conflict to Spain and North Africa, striking at Carthage's wealth and resources. In 203 BCE, Hannibal was finally recalled to defend Carthage itself from Scipio Africanus, who had turned the tide of the war. The two great generals met at the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE. This time, Hannibal faced an opponent who had learned from his tactics, and without the element of surprise, he suffered his first and only major defeat. Carthage surrendered, bringing the war to an end. Though Hannibal had come closer than anyone before to destroying Rome, he was ultimately undone by the political weaknesses of Carthage and Rome's ability to adapt. After the war, he was forced into exile and spent years as a fugitive, advising other enemies of Rome before finally taking his own life to avoid capture. Hannibal's legacy as one of history's greatest generals remains undisputed. His genius on the battlefield, his ability to outthink and outmaneuver superior forces, and his daring campaigns shaped the future of military strategy. Though he did not ultimately destroy Rome, he showed the world that even the mightiest empire could be brought to its knees by the brilliance of a single man. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legendary Hannibal Barca and his campaign against Rome, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more incredible historical content. Let us know in the comments which historical figure or event you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.